There was an idea. The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people. See if they could become something more.
Cheers.
Question then, back to that, did we really conclude? Is a hot dog really a sandwich?
It is a sandwich.
My argument is still bread with something in the middle.
Because it's the sausage is sandwiched in
Fundamentally,
between
what
the
is a
bread.
sandwich?
No, I don't think it is. Because
What is it?
Why I think sandwiches is two pieces of bread that are separate with something in the middle.
That's
That's
a
not a hot
sandwich.
dog.
You could say
So
it,
a bagel is a sandwich?
No, because a bagel doesn't go with
Okay,
it.
I'll make
It's got a hole
So
in
yes,
it.
so a bagel doesn't go with it.
It's got a hole in the middle though, because if it didn't have a hole in the middle, it would just be a bun.
Convince me why
But
a
it's still
hot
a
dog
sandwich.
can't be considered a sandwich.
It's
then.
still a sandwich.
Because it's a piece of bread, but the bread hasn't been cut all the way through the middle.
A sandwich is a
It's
broad
soft.
category
Would
of
you-
something,
would you
and then
call-
a bagel is the
Do
subcategory.
you think a baguette is a sandwich?
Well, no, a
For that
baguette's
same reason,
a
just
baguette's
because
the type of bread.
that is true. A baguette sandwich.
Well,
Mm.
No,
no,
it's a
that's
baguette sandwich.
that's just no.
That's-
Baguette is a
that's
sandwich.
rigid.
It's a subcategory of a
So a
sandwich.
baguette isn't a sandwich just simply because the name of it, the bread, is different.
Yeah.
Because it's not sliced bread. But then you wouldn't cut. You're labelling it simply by what it is.
I guess it's like calling like a hoagie.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
no, exactly. It's that
If that's what he's trying to say, it's like oh,
Yeah.
yeah, a
But
hoagie.
Hovis is a brand. no
True,
actual-
but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Bread. Okay, I'm having a bread.
That doesn't make sense.
It's a filling sandwich between two pieces of bread.
Yeah, it's two pieces of separate bread.
So what is the definition
No,
of
but
a
it's from the
sandwich?
same
then?
loaf.
Shouldn't we research this?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but it's two pieces separate
it's
bread.
called a hot dog bun. So is that like a beef burger, which is also a bun? Is that a sandwich?
Yeah. it's
Definitely.
two
So
different
no,
breads.
but what's the difference? Okay, just having the line all the way through the middle, that doesn't distinguish it between sandwich and not.
Yes, because it's a sandwich.
You could-
layer
to be
it.
fair,
So what
Hot
it-
dogs
what it
don't
would-
have layers.
so it
It's
would be just
it's
more like a
sausage in something.
Rather than a sandwich, it's just a slice.
It's a difference between being on and in, is what Stephan's
Yes.
trying to say.
Yeah.
The sausage is on the piece of bread, where in a sandwich the filling is in
Yeah.
the piece.
Because if you cut the bread all the way in half of a hot dog, put sausage in it, it's a sausage sandwich, not a hot dog. But because you got the thing where you slot it into
Actually,
it's
yeah.
a hot dog.
You call it a sausage sandwich if you have a sausage sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Sausage sandwich sounds a little bit funny. how quickly can you say sausage sandwich? Sausage sandwich. Sausage sandwich.
Just comes out shop.
It's just weird now. It's a sausage hot dog forever. How do we conclude that? I'll never be. No, I'll always think a hot dog isn't like a
Yeah, I
sandwich.
mean, what can I get out of a sausage hot dog, please?
Yeah, next time we all get to eat a hot dog, and I'll be like, what are you?
That was interesting.
So it's not a sandwich. It's not.
I'm still
we
debating.
could say, as Tom said, it's a subcategory of a sandwich.
Yeah.
Then you
A sandwich is just a broad range of different things, and then you could have a sandwich, a baguette sandwich. You could have a sandwich, you know,
This is where things just get complicated and
a
necessary.
bagel sandwich, like a bagel. You'll have lettuce in the middle and some meat, bacon or whatever, an egg. You know,
So what's a
A
corn
burger.
dog?
Oh what?
A corn dog.
that's a
That-
battered sausage battered, isn't it? Like a thick.
That's something on the. Surely you should know. You've been in the
it's
States for
corn
how long?
stick.
Did you know?
I never had a
You
corn
never
dog.
once saw a corn
I
dog.
was in America for 4 months and I never had a corn dog.
I'm pretty sure I saw a corn dog while I was in Prague.
You can buy them in restaurants
usually
here.
go to
Like
America,
it's
And
Um,
I never went to Taco Bell.
yeah, you could go to.
Yeah, to redo it, you failed.
He's not supporting big fast food brands though. That's not exactly that bad.
No, I was going to say.
Did you go to Wendy's?
No,
Chick-fil-A?
no.
Why are you so bothered
Yeah.
about these? Why do you want to go to America? Taco Bell. When?
Get a Taco Bell, eh?
The only kind of fast food place I went was Mackey's once.
Oh my god.
In 4 months.
Did you supersize?
No.
Did they ask if you wanted to
Did
supersize?
you,
I
did
did
you
it
get
on
American
board.
while you were in America?
I watched NFL,
I'm not into it.
watched baseball,
I was about to say there was
not live. Well, live on the TV.
Okay.
there was like an American themed bar in Prague called Expats. We went in there once and they were playing baseball on these screens. And I couldn't believe it. Like, I don't generally watch sports anyway, but the difference between how our sports is sort of broadcasting and how theirs was so significant. It was like they had highlights of like funny things that happened in the game, like stupid things, like they were spying on people in the audience as though they were desperate for people to enjoy what they were watching, and constantly there were like pop-ups, things in your face, or advertisement going down below, and I was watching it just purely because I couldn't believe just how
It's like the Super Bowl, the massive
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
break
that's
in the
huge.
middle.
it's like it's
Oh
no-
yeah, they've got longer adverts.
it's like it's less about the sport and more about the commercial aspect of it.
That's one thing about American TV. It will cut in the most inappropriate way to an advert halfway through a sentence.
The adverts, the way in which they advertise is so different
It's
as
so
well.
different.
It's
So
almost
bizarre.
like comical.
It's quite cringe.
But this was something actually. Who was
It's
saying?
like that advert of free real estate. I can't get over it.
Wait, what's free real estate?
Someone was telling me.
No, it's those what are those adverts? And they're like trying to promote like this super flexible water hose or something.
Hi, Billy Mays here.
Yeah. They say, wow, look how
Every American
extensive.
advert ever.
What I found really weird about American adverts the most, obviously because we don't get it here, is all the advertisements for healthcare. Because obviously we get it for free.
Yeah.
It's all that, you can buy this drug to get over something, or go this, see your doctor first if this is appropriate for you.
They used to advertise cigarettes as well, and they got rid of that
No, it's crazy
in
though.
this country anyway.
Some of the devices that that they put into the system. I don't know if it's just America, but there was something on Netflix I saw about this example of like birth control devices. One was like a type of spring that's put into the
Coil.
slightly different to a coil because it goes up the fallopian tube, and then it's designed to cause scar tissue which seals the tube. Now, sounds ridiculous, but it would obviously stop people getting pregnant. But the dangerous thing is, it's like all these devices don't really go through much testing, and then there's these women complaining of like pain, it's really affecting their body, and then they weren't designed to come out. So when doctors are trying to remove these things, in some cases the spring was snapping, getting stuck inside them. Some women have been x-rayed, and they've got more than one of these devices inside them because the doctors missed the first time. So just tried again, just kept shooting these things inside the women.
This in America.
This is in America.
Well, to be fair, it
This
increases
is
the risk
on-
of cervical cancer as well.
This is on Netflix as well.
Do they not do trials and testing? And
Is it legit or
That's a legit thing. This is something that people suffer with now.
okay?
You can watch it on Netflix. It's
Well, I'll give that a watch when I
box
go.
documentaries. They do like one every week. It's crazy.
Isn't that what you have to pay for on YouTube?
Possibly.
They do that YouTube
That would-
subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to pay to watch it on there.
Actually, that reminds me of have you seen the Moku documentary kind of thing, American Vandal on Netflix?
No,
That is.
Have you seen the second one?
Yes.
Is it good?
Yes.
Is it about dicks again?
No.
Oh.
It's about someone brought like
Sounds
lemonade
disappointing.
and the horse got shit themselves.
There was a viral video of that, something
It's
like that.
That was
It
from a
is
film.
Yeah. That was from a series. And
Did you see
Oh,
that?
so
Did you
it's
see that
different.
viral video? Did
Yeah,
I swear I tagged you guys
Which
in it.
one?
Yeah.
I saw it.
There's this viral video where it just, like, you read the caption first, someone put laxative in the school cafeteria, and then it's,
I've seen it.
it's different shots of people walking through the corridors, and there's just people crying, there's
Pooing
shit
themselves,
everywhere,
yeah.
people run to the toilet, holding their arsehole. Then there's worse ones where there's people squatting up against a wall, over a bin,
Yeah.
people queuing up to shit in the sink,
Yeah.
and then you just like,
It's just
That-
everywhere.
and they
It's just that girl who's crying on the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
You know?
shit while she's shitting, and it's just
I
like,
think it came from that one when someone put laxatives in the food on the beach and the
Well,
seagulls came and ate it.
I think
and
for-
then
for
forced
as-
it on people.
for as long as there
Yeah.
has been laxative, there has been children with a bad idea.
Yeah. They call it the brown now. Yeah.
The other thing you can do is get those the sugar-free gummy bears on Amazon. Have you ever seen them? The big
The
bag,
massive
it's like a
kilogram
kilogram bag.
Yeah.
of-
Have you read
The
the
sugar
reviews?
free, yeah.
The reviews on that is quite funny.
Why does that make you shit?
It's like so essentially people are.
I'll show you the meme.
You'd rather
Well,
be
me,
crucified
not
than
Like,
what happens
There's
to
a
you.
product, a jelly bean that
Yeah, I think it's artificial sweetness like aspartame, which cause
which makes people shit.
yeah.
I think I might need it.
Oh, you will not get
Got
to the
some
toilet.
chest.
You'll probably be on the toilet for 6 hours if you ate a whole.
He possibly already is doing that.
Speaking of shit, it reminds me of food poisoning, but I swear I could have nearly got some in America. I think I've told you two this, but not you, Stefan. So I went to this restaurant and they served me raw chicken in a taco, right? And I was like, oh, it's raw, can I get a new one? So the waitress took it away. She then came back a minute later and was like, oh, do you want something new? Because that's how we cook the chicken. I was like, you cook the chicken raw? And
Is
then
this at Gordon Ramsay's?
Obviously not, no.
and I was like, you cook it raw, And she was like, yeah. And I was like, and she was like, we can't cook. And she was like, that's just how we serve it. And I was like, what, you can't leave it on the grill for longer? She was like, no. And she was like, do you want something else? And my friend got a chicken burger, which is fine. I was like, yeah, I'll just get a chicken burger then.
That is terrible.
Wait, they
But
cooked the
how-
chicken burger properly.
Yeah, the chicken burger was fine, but apparently they can't leave a piece of chicken on a grill for longer, so it cooks all the way through.
Why?
And they serve it raw.
So
Like
you
it wasn't.
excuse.
It wasn't like fully raw. It was just like a thin little kind of sliver.
Loin.
Well, was it like
in the middle.
fleshy? Like a.
It was like, you know how sometimes you get it where it's a kind of pink.
Yeah,
It wasn't that. It was like full on.
And it's not like
Raw.
fully solid. It's like translucent in a way. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, and it was raw. Like it wasn't even just slightly pink, because that's I've eaten that before, but it was raw,
Why would they cook it like
and
that?
that's apparently how they cook it.
Well, in Japan,
Not
they,
going to name the place.
well, in
but
Japan they eat raw chicken, but it's treated with salt water
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
This wasn't, and I was just like, absolutely not.
It's just the texture. I can imagine must be awful.
Slimy.
Ugh.
It's like eating rubber.
I
Like,
hate
I
even
I
handling
literally-
chicken when it's
I
raw.
literally bit into it, and I just had to spit it out. I was like, no.
I'm surprised you even caught onto it.
Mhm.
Saw that.
I would be eating that.
I'm just like funny with chicken. I don't know.
It's one of
Don't
them
know.
you don't want to risk having.
Yeah, and like I always look at the food I'm eating, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
And I just noticed it was like, oh, no. Spat it out, and I was like,
Let's look at.
and the thing is, the waitress, like, 2 people came up to us, like I think it was like a manager or something like that, and not one of them apologised as well.
I guess they're used to
They
that.
probably
It
have
was
strong
only-
beliefs
it-
in what they cook.
It was only at the end, the initial waitress who took my order was like, oh, sorry about all that. That's probably because she just
So they
wanted a
have
tip.
strong beliefs in giving people food poisoning.
That's what I mean.
That's
Like,
what they do.
Well,
Yeah.
to be, actually, well, no, they probably just believe in their cooking. They've served that from brisket anyway.
it was raw.
I mean, the whole point of
But
looking
there's
at
like
a chicken
that's
being
still
appealing.
risking cooking. Though.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of a restaurant that will just outright refuse to cook it to a different specification.
Like, every chicken, you
Yeah, but it's
cook
like-
chicken,
what's
like,
it-
it's
like
not...
just-
You ask for a steak, what
yeah,
are they going to
it's
do?
not like steak. As
Even
long
if they just slap it in the microwave.
I mean, I probably wouldn't like that. It'd be a bit dry.
No.
But yeah, they could have. But
Actually,
literally, she was like, we can't cook it longer. Yes, you can leave it on the grill or however you cook it longer. That's all you have to do.
So when Dad said just slap it in the microwave, I'm just thinking about throwing some like raw chicken drumsticks in the microwave. It's like, ding, just leave that going.
The English will be happy with this one.
But I was like, what? And then you know how you always meant to tip in America? We just didn't leave a tip.
That's rare as well. I don't think they'd be. Well,
They probably won't. I don't care.
it's up to you whether you do or not.
Because like in America, you should tip.
Do they tax you? Do they show the tax on food as well when you buy?
Yeah, they put it on the end. They have a subtotal.
I found out why they do that actually. They believe that when they sell a product in the shops in America, they believe that they should show the value
That's
of
what I
how
said.
much the
That's what I said to you the other day.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense when you look at it like that.
But
That's the
then
first I was thinking.
It's also
stupid.
it also kind of doesn't make sense to just have the whole total cost of it when you're buying it, like on the shelf, because then you don't know how it's going to cost. I mean, you can work out it's only like 10%, let's say.
I don't get why they have such like an in-depth tipping like percentage and all that.
So what it is because in America, if you're like a waitress or whatever, your minimum wage will be something ridiculous like $3. That depends a lot on the state.
Right.
So I think in California, I think they have a minimum, which is the minimum like $10, $11 or something like that. But in some states, it'll be like they don't have a minimum, so they can get literally paid $1 an hour.
That's
And
fine.
then and then they make all their money from tips, which is
Is that
like
even
15 to 20%.
Yeah, that's really fucked up as well. I guess that encourages them to work harder and better.
Yeah. But actually,
It's like they're working a job to get commission.
you know how we all get told American customer service is amazing,
It's
best in the world.
No.
No, it's not.
Fair enough.
Does it all depend on where you go?
Yeah.
Well, I went from
You do go to some fancy
west.
places.
I went from the west to the east coast, travelling across, and there was one time I had good customer service in the whole 4 months I was there. I'd probably say, which was in the Hard Rock Cafe in Los Angeles. Lovely waiter there, so enthusiastic, so helpful, so nice. Everyone else, kind of a bit of an attitude. You know how you go to Europe, and they're a bit funny.
I'm just
To be-
imagining they're just
They're,
these sassy
they're
Americans.
kind of just a bit like that, and then it'd be so forced, and you just feel like, it just wasn't
Well,
good.
to be
Well,
fair,
like here.
when I think the best service I've ever had is in Prague in that tower when we had a meal there, and that guy was
Yeah, well,
so
you would hope.
professional.
You would hope so, though.
It was a lot
Like,
of money,
the-
but he was
you know,
so
the TV
professional
tower?
about it.
Yeah.
They're really well. I don't think it's ugly.
I don't.
I think
It's very
bizarrely amazing.
neo-futuristic,
Yeah.
astronaut space.
But we went up there for a meal and it was just delightful. They were really attentive, but it was
Spoke really well,
Yeah,
like, good English.
it surprised me a little bit because it seemed like they didn't get customers like us very often who just turned up, excuse me, with rucksacks,
Probably not.
and because we had no money for like appetizers, wine. It was just like
Just got a main.
water, main.
Yeah.
Oh no, we had cocktails.
Yeah, we had cocktails,
Yeah,
which wasn't bad, but
they were still cheap,
yeah.
cheaper than you'd pay here anyway. So
Yeah. Because I went to quite a few nice places, and the customer service was good in the nice places, but you always hear about how American customer service is the best, and I just didn't find that.
I guess that's part of the reason they do it. Then, to
In
improve
it's a very biased point though.
Yeah,
the people who own these businesses and I just really love that the fact that they don't have to pay these people.
Yeah. I feel like in the high end places it is good, but then it's just as good as ours here. Whereas if you go down like just like to a normal shop, like kind of generic place, it's just a bit